Shalom Akim, Shalom, Call Halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakahakudah, showing the 10 double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much peace, love, and salutations to you, Akim, out there pushing the word in sincerity and truth. This is the brother Ariala. And, I was just listening to this clip from Joe Rogan, and they're talking about the Vanessa and everything like that. And I found it interesting. I found it very interesting how how they reflect on tyranny and how they reflect on things that are kind of going around in the world, and just their mindset towards what they think Babylon the Great is or America is. And so I'm gonna play this clip and get a few scriptures. But Esau's got some nerve, man. Esau's got some nerve, and there's a lot of judgment that's coming. Salaki, if there's a lot of background noise, I'm just kind of sitting outside, and I wanted to record this lesson. But with no further ado, let me play this clip.
They're dumb.
They're dumb. They don't understand history. They don't understand
Right.
human beings. They don't understand human nature. They don't understand the history of every single country that's ever existed other than the United States. Up until 1776, every fucking country that has ever existed was run by dictators.
Right.
All of them. This is the first one where you had elected officials. This is the first experiment in self-government that actually worked, and it created the greatest superpower the world's ever known. It created the greatest cultural machine, the greatest machine of art and creativity and innovation right fucking here. And how did it do that? It did it through freedom. Because when you give people freedom, you let people do whatever the fuck they want to do, they actually find ways to succeed and grow and thrive.
This guy really just said that America came at the pinnacle of its excellency because of freedom. In his mind, because of the indoctrination that's happened within the school systems, within just the media in general, he completely ignores the fact that America was able to catapult itself to the richest nation in the history of the world through slavery and through oppression and through rape, robbery, and murder, not through freedom. The reason why you had rich plantation owners be able to start banks, businesses, and different institutions was because of slavery. That is how America got rich. But this guy right here, and Americans in general, so-called white people in general, not even just Americans, people who come here and they get indoctrinated with this BS, they really think in their mind that America got to its place because of freedom. And it's a slap in the face to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. They regard none of all the bloodshed that happened to you in order to get this place where it got. They completely ignore it. And the scriptures talk about that sentiment. All right? When you go into book of, I was just reading Jeremiah. The brothers were sending in these scriptures. Let's read this. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 11, it says, "Because ye were glad, because ye rejoice, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifer has at grass, and bellow as bulls, your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert." Now, the whole point of it is in verse 11, they're the destroyers of the heritage of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the true Israelites. And they've grown ridiculously fat, and they passed gifts around because of your death. When you go into the book of Revelation, the 11th chapter, they've celebrated your downfall, and they've trumpeted it as a place of freedom and prosperity and innovation. Meanwhile, you're the ones who were creating all the inventions because you're the ones out in the fields having to figure out how to do every damn thing and make it better. You're the ones who made the Industrial Revolution actually work. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, your ingenuity. The scripture says that Jacob is the former of all things. Okay? Now you go down to the 16th verse. It says, "Cut off the sword from Babylon, and him that handeth the sickle in the time of harvest. For fear of the oppressing sword, they shall turn every one to his people, and they shall flee every one to his own country. Israel is a scattered sheep. The lions have driven him away. First the king of Assyria have devoured him, and last Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, have broken his bones." And we see the same thing that's happened here, man. We see the same thing has happened here. Bro, this is nothing but New Babylon, New Rome, all over again. Same thing has gone down in this place, man. And you get no respect. Psalm 62, And 3 says, how long will ye imagine mischief against a man? Ye shall be slain, all of you, as a bowing wall shall ye be, and a tottering fence. They only consult to cast him down from his excellency. They delight in lies. They bless with their mouth, but they curse inwardly, say lie. And this is how they speak of the effort and the bloodshed and the work that you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans have put in. Okay, they speak toward like it's nothing. They overpass, the deeds that you've done here, man, with pride. People don't know their history. People just don't understand history. I'm just proud as hell, man. Proud, man. Psalms 50:16. But unto the wicked the Most High said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? All right, it says, seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my word behind thee. When thou sawest a thief, thou consentest with him, and hast been partaker with adulterers, to give thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thy own mother's son. And that's why we know prophetically, you so-called white people are the Edomites, man. And you continue to speak evil and wickedness against your brother, man. All right? You people don't know. This is the only nation that has ever had, with freedom. Just absolutely retarded. And people will suck this stuff down and they'll believe it. They will believe that madness, man. They will believe this.
Had elected officials. This is the first experiment in self-government that actually worked, and it created the greatest superpower the world's ever known. It created the greatest cultural machine.
What created the biggest superpower that the world has ever known is free labor for hundreds of years. That's how you filled your coffers with gold, silver, wheat, all type of precious commodities. And then when you took advantage of World War I and World War II, when the rest of Europe was in rubble, you were left unscathed and catapulted yourself as the premier nation, handing out loans with usury. This whole sentiment of America, pulling itself by its own bootstraps and hard work, it's all BS, man. And this hypocrisy is going to be found out.
The greatest machine of art and creativity and innovation right fucking here. And how did it do that? It did it through freedom. Because when you give people freedom, you let people do whatever the fuck they want to do, they actually find ways to succeed and grow and thrive. But as soon as you put the boots to them, as soon as you tell them, you have to do this or you can't do that, you have to listen to me, now you have a mini dictator.
Bro, that's all America came up on. That's what you did to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You damn near wiped out the Native Americans, man. Because the Native Americans didn't want to do what you wanted. You literally destroyed the whole heritage of a nation. Brought them over on cargo slave ship and forced them into labor for hundreds of years. Then you relegated them to the dregs of society and put them in a situation where the whole world looks at them like dogs. You so-called white people have some nerve, man. You have some nerve. Psalms chapter 73 verse 6 says, therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment, their eyes stand out with fatness, they have more than heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression, they speak loftily. They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. And everybody believes this madness. Your tongue does walk through the earth on American freedom and enterprise and ingenuity. And it's all BS, man. It's all a scam and a sales pitch. All right? It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy.
You have one step away from a king. You have a one step closer. You're moving one step closer to dictatorship. That's what the fuck is happening. That's what.
But anyway, that's what's happening here, bro. That's what's been going on here. America's been a dictatorship. America's been a tyrannical, oppressing overseer for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. It's never took its boot off your neck. You've just consented and stopped wiggling and fighting against the boot being on your neck. You actually take the boot and put it on your neck and say, here, master, I'm ready. I don't want to fight no more. That's what's happening, man. But the Most High is going to pay this place back 100%. Okay? Zechariah chapter 2 verse 8 says, for thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye. For behold, I will shake my hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants, and they shall know that I'm the Lord of hosts. The Lord of hosts has sent me. Okay, and this is what's going to happen. And this is what's being prepared. Okay, Most High is getting ready to pound this place for his pride and his lack of consideration for the apple of the Most High's eye. When you go to Baruch the 4th chapter and you skip down to the 30th verse, it says, take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoiced at thy fall. Miserable are the cities that thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin, and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved of her own desolation. And you know, they make holidays for 1776. They make holidays for basically being able to sweep across, you know, America and the rest of the world and kill everybody and relegate and dictate and basically create this hegemon power. They're going to be made miserable, and we're seeing the piece of that happen currently. All right, it says, for I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. Okay? And this is what's going to happen, man. This is what's happening. We're watching the Most High put the pieces together to take down this hypocrisy. Just absolutely madness, man. You listen to these Edomites talk about the history of America. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and your true contribution and what you went through is never considered, man. It's never considered. They really think in their minds they built this place on their own power, you know, on their own ingenuity and genius. Well, they're going to be found out, man. Call hello, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah Bahashim, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors once again to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much peace, love, and salutations to y'all out there pushing the word in sincerity and truth. Shalom.